What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. And today we have the GeminiJets May 2023 releases for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Really cool to see GeminiJets and NG models having a release on the same day, which is really cool. So this is coming out on Friday. Probably, I think I'm going to do the NG today. But nevertheless, really cool to see both these released here. And this is very exciting. So really awesome stuff. I'm really excited to see what we have. And I saw on Instagram it was going to be very diverse. So I'm really excited for that. And I saw a couple aircraft online. I didn't see, I saw a couple messages on some social media, so I don't know exactly what's coming, but there's a possibility that I briefly saw something. So I want to see it for myself before I make it to be true. I'm really excited, and we're also now giving full rankings for all the releases on a subjective scale, so I'll give it a letter grade A through F, A obviously being the best, F obviously not being very good. So excited for that. It'll be awesome. We'll talk about it throughout. So GeminiJets, after this smaller set that I did while I was in Mexico on vacation, let's see what they have for the May 2023 releases, even though it's April 6th. But that's just Gemini scheduling for you. So nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into it, everybody. Very excited for this. It's going to be very diverse, so I'm expecting that. So let's see if we're going to have more like Mesa CRJ 900s, Antonov 124s. There's an Antonov right there, speaking of which. Janet 737 600s. Is that kind of diverse, or like a region diversity? So let's take a look. Starting off with the Air New Zealand Airbus A321neo. This is Zulu Kilo Oscar Yankee Bravo in the Star Line sliver. I'm assuming the all black one. Yes, it is. Their CGI quality also looks really good, so I'm very glad to get to see that. And also, I apologize, I need to break this down so I can do it like this, and then I don't want to see the rest of the releases, but I do want to make it big so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Absolute fail. Let's see if I can do it this way. And also, sorry about the NG video in the background. There we go. Okay, that's well, I was trying to do that. You know what? Just bring it there to make it more even. Sorry that I can't go full screen to see all those, but nevertheless, that is exactly what we're working with. So this is a really cool. Okay, this is a little. Dang it. Try not to scroll, and it sometimes gets away from me. But anyways, this is a really cool release right here. I think this is a solid release. NG models, and I think Phoenix have also done this one. So certainly a very nice aircraft in terms of diversity and popularity. I'm going to give this a, I think I have to give this an A. This mold's pretty solid. I'm mainly judging more of the choice, like, you know, how Jet Photos has slots and like what you choose to use them on. That's kind of what I'm assessing here. So was this the best for the region, popularity, diversity, and also just variety in general? And I'm going to give this a really solid score. I think this is an A tier release. This is a really good aircraft. I think they did a really good job with this, so that's really nice right there. And now we have an Azul Airbus A321neo, Papa Romeo, Yankee, Juliet, Echo. This is another really good aircraft right here. I am almost confident this has not been done in this livery. I'm almost positive. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that not many of these have been done. The mold, like I said, is pretty good, and I think this is a really nice special livery. I'm going to give this an A. I think this is a really solid release in general. Really good aircraft there, and it should turn out really nice. So that's a really neat release for Azul. We got the A350 this morning from NG Models, and now we're getting this A321neo from GeminiJets. So a really good day if you're in South America. And diversity is already top notch. So, and I'll also give it overall letter grade and on a broad scale once we get to the end for the full release. So looking really good. That's a really good release. Delta 737-800 World Champion Atlanta Braves, November 3746 Hotel. This is another really good release, and this is a really good way to get diversity in the United States, considering they've done several Delta 737-800 so far. I think this is a really good release, despite it having just a little small sticker on it. I think there's some nice variety to be had here, and certainly some value. Although I don't think it's quite an A release, because I think the slot could have been used on a more popular Delta aircraft, even though they've done several of those. So there's two ways to skin a cat there, if you will. There's several ways that you could look at that, but I still think that even another 737-900 or even a 757-200 without winglets or a 767, there's a couple other planes I think would have been slightly better here. And as such, this is still a really good release, and I think it's really good considering nobody's done it yet. I'm going to give it that's a solid B. That's not quite an A, but it's a really solid B release right there. That's really good, and that's a really nice start for the US collection. How about this variety so far? They meant it when they said that. How about a Flare 737 MAX 8 to go along with that? Charlie Foxtrot Lima Kilo Delta. This is an A tier release. This has not been done. It's a very popular aircraft. This is a really solid release right here. Absolutely love the livery with the purple and the neon green. This is certainly up for consideration for my collection, as I really need a Flare aircraft. Thought about 737-800. Still might get that too. But the MAX 8 is definitely high on the list, and it's definitely an aircraft that I would really like to have in my collection. That is an A tier release. Nobody else I think's done a MAX yet for Flare, and as as such, that definitely deserves an A. That's a really solid release. The mold's solid. I really like the pick there by GeminiJets. So this has been a killer release so far. I'm thoroughly impressed. If we were doing the GeminiJets top 10 video, this would probably already be top 10 just for that. ITA A330-200, Echo India, Echo Juliet Papa. I think I saw Golf at Miami, but I need to double check this right now. This regardless is probably going to be a very solid A. I need to double check though because I saw an aircraft very similar to that, and I want to make sure it's the right tail number before I fully assess it. I'm sorry, it's just one of those, because the ITA I saw in Miami was absolutely incredible to say the least. So let me see if I can go ahead and find this really fast. Sorry that I am taking the time to do this. That one doesn't show it well enough. Sorry, let me see if I can find it. Looking. Sorry, I got so many pictures. I may end up cutting it if I need to, but I would like to see what the verdict here is on the ITA 332. I'm still thinking an A release regardless if I've seen it or not. That doesn't have an opinion on it. It's really okay. Here it is. I saw Golf. Okay, this is Papa. I'm giving this an A. This is a really solid release right here. Again, this has not been done. I am 100% going to get this. It does have a little stick right here, which is fine. It's very non-noticeable. The difference with the Delta is we've had that before, and I think it's still a really solid release. This is a really popular aircraft that has not been done, even with the sticker. You know, that's a really good use of the slot right there. I'm giving that an A. That's a fantastic plane right there. This is the most diverse set GeminiJets. In terms of popularity as well, these are popular aircraft. Star Alliance, Delta 737, Lanta, Braves. Popularity, you could go two sides on that. But Flare, ITA, what's next? JetBlue A220 300 November 3044 Juliet. That is, if there's something above A+, that's finally there. We've been waiting on this aircraft. I've talked about it for how many months now? We've been waiting for this aircraft for a long time. This is an A+ release right here. This makes the set. This is probably going to be the most popular aircraft. Finally getting a JetBlue A220. This is super exciting, and I am absolutely stoked about this. This is a top tier release. This is the best thing they really could have done, to be honest. This has been a very popular demand aircraft, and many people have wanted it. I was expecting a pop-up window at some point to come up, and here it is. This is a very solid release. This is a really good. The name of the aircraft is I can't see it, I'm sorry, but this is an A+ tier release. This is very, very good. I am thoroughly impressed. This is a killer set. This makes up for whatever was above that. This is really good. Now we're Republic Ember 175 LR November 402 Yankee X-Ray. This is exactly what I was talking about with the Mesa CRJ 900, the Janet 736, the SkyWest 700. Now we get this. This is a very solid release. I know that there's not a ton of these flying, but this is literally in my opinion, the perfect way to, you've done an American 175, you've done United 175s. This really should have been a Delta. This would have been the best, one of the best releases ever if this was a Delta. This is still very solid. I'm very pleased with this. I think this is a really, really good aircraft right here, and this is a very solid release right here. I'm going to give it, you know, you could compare it to Delta and say that could have been used for that slot, but the mold's really nice. It's a very simple aircraft. It does have the slanted up winglets, which is a nice addition since we don't get many of those in 400. This is a really solid release. I'm trying to decide between B+ and A-. I think for the sake of the fact that we've had a couple of house liveries done in the past, and you know, you could definitely put Delta in there or another 175 that really, but they've outside Delta, they've been super close to really getting there. I'm going to go ahead and give this an A-, although that's up for debate. That's still a very, very good release. That could have been something, that could have been like a Safari C-130 or what was the airline? Ural A320neo. There could have been many other aircraft there that would have tanked that. That's still a very solid release. I give that an A-. That's very solid. That's a really good aircraft right there. This has been a fire release. Oh my gosh, a Southwest 737 MAX 8 to go along with it in the gold retro Herbert D. Keller livery. This is a very exciting aircraft. Of course, you can make the argument that NG just did it. Talk, which is a very good point to bring up here, and I think it's very reasonable indeed. I definitely do not disagree with that. However, you know, Gemini's got to get their take on it, and I think it's pretty fair to get some different versions of it. With that said, I just talked about this with the Lone Star release that NG did previously. I think I gave that a B+. You know, to be very similar on that scale, I think that, you know, I'm trying to decide because I gave it a B+ because they could, but it applies the same for Gemini. They could have did some of the other aircraft that aren't out in terms of Southwest specials, but I don't really think there is many. So is it really fair to even give Lone Star a B+ to begin with? That's kind of that's a really tough situation to handle there. So I might go change my Lone Star pick back to A-, possibly somewhere in there. I think this is a B+, A-. It's somewhere in that range. I think giving it like an 89.5, if I had to give it like a number, is pretty fair. It sits on both tiers. There's good to like and not good to like. The really good news with this is they may do a better job on the color than what Inge models did, so that would certainly be nice. This is still a very good release though, and I'm really eager to see how this comes out. I'm going to give it an 89.5. It's a very solid release and a good use of the slot despite it already being done by Inge models. It's really solid. It's a really good. This has been a fire US release. This is very impressive. And now the Donald Trump Boeing 757-200 gets in here with November 757 Alpha Foxtrot 5495. This just got added onto the future previews. Now I have a feeling it's obviously due to political reasons. We're going to put the political reasons aside and take a look at the actual aircraft. Now you guys probably may remember that I literally just saw this in Tulsa just a few days ago, and I'll pull it up for you right now, which is absolutely crazy. And again, there's no political discussion to be had here. It is the aircraft is the focus, and it's a super beautiful plane. It is really nice. Again, all politics aside, and I think most enthusiasts have been very reasonable in terms of depicting the actual really cool, and that's super nice. So with that being said, for that aircraft, I'm going to go ahead and give this, I think it's very reasonable because the aircraft itself, to give this an A. All politics aside, like I said, if for instance Joe Biden had an aircraft, I'm sure it looked really nice, so on and so forth. So again, we're just being very broad here, straight to the point of the aviation side of it. Politics aside, I think this is an A-tier release, and I would say that if Joe Biden's plane looked really good. And you know, there's also been other aircraft for political figures that haven't looked good in the past too. I don't know any off the top of my head, but I'm sure there have been. So you know, you just got to assess it in a reasonable manner, and I think in this case it is very reasonable to give this right now a very solid A. That is a really good release. I'll definitely be getting it again because I saw the aircraft, not because of who's on board. The political aspect of it is pushed to the side. I'm talking about the aviation side of it right now, and that's what we have with this 757-200. It's a beautiful plane. I love the flag. I love the white Wi-Fi box. I love the RB211s with the silver trim right here. Top tier release. That's a really good plane, and again, politics aside, I think that's a really good release. That is one of the best 1-400 sets I think I've ever seen. It would have been nice to get a little bit more variety. We did get just a touch of Australia there, but I think an Asian aircraft would have been really nice, maybe in the place of the 175, or even push back to Southwest Max a month. There's some really great diversity though here, and I think the 1-400s overall, it's very solid. I don't think I gave a C out. I don't think I gave a C out. This is a very solid A- release. I would give this like a 93. This is very good. I wish there would have been a little bit more variety, but I still think for Gemini standards, this is outstanding, and they did really good with this. We have South America, Australia, Europe, and obviously plenty of United States and Canada. So let's take a look at the 1-200 to see what we're going there. But first we have a Max, and that is going to be the E-7A Royal Australian Air Force. This is the 737, right? Yes, it is. Dang, I'm eager to see how this looks in 400 scale. So there's some more Australia right there, and that's got to be a big aircraft. That is a solid A release right there. Of course, I don't know as much about the military side, but I have to think with this being the debut of the mold, that it has to be a really good opportunity. So that's a solid A right there. That's fantastic. That is super good. A Dice Air Force Base B1 860141. 860140. There we go. I've just always wanted one of these. Always wanted to see one, and I think I probably will get this because I mean that's a great looking plane. I've really always wanted one. That's a really good release right there. That is another A-tier release. There hasn't been a B1 in a while, and it's Dice. I mean that's literally perfect. So that is a very solid release right there. I give that a very solid A. This is an outstanding release. This is a 93. This is a 93. This would have been 100 if we would have had a little bit more geography. One Asia aircraft or something from Africa or something really would have made this perfect, but this is still very good. But we still have the 1-200, so let's take a look. And that is going to get kicked off by an American Airlines Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner, November A35 Alpha November. The aircraft that I flew from Dallas to Miami, 159.95. This is, that's CGI. We'll talk about that later. I'll put that off to the side for right now. I hope that it comes out a little bit better than that. This will definitely be on my buy list. You're probably wondering why. Well, I flew on the aircraft. I can't pass that up. I mean, it's too good of an opportunity. I need more American Airlines heavies in my 1-200 fleet. So that is definitely on my list. And we also have it flaps down, I will go for the flaps up. Really solid release right there. I mean, that's just outstanding, and I don't think that you could have done better. Therefore, that is a really solid start to the release, and that's very good. Let's see what else we have. I mean, this is just insane. Asiana Airlines Airbus A380-800 Hotel Lima 7625. I don't believe one of these have been done in a very long time, although like I said, I could be wrong on that. I think this is a very solid use of the slot. I give this, you know, it's still a very popular aircraft despite the merger situation, what may be going on there. I think this is a solid A-. The American Dreamliner, by the way, I'm going to give the American Dreamliner, they've done several in the past, but not in 200, so I'm going to give it a solid B+. So these are both B+. Could have used them a little better? Maybe, but they're still very good releases, so that's looking really nice. We're getting a Delta 757-300, November 590, November Whiskey. I can't remember the last one that was done in 1-200s, and I said that I was going to do this in the last video. What I'm going to start doing is I'm going to bring up my second monitor here, and I'm going to start referencing the databases so that I can give you a very justifiable opinion on who does what and what's reasonable here. So let me pull up the Delta 757-300 in 1-200 scale and see how many have been done, because it's really going to depict my decision. There has been... Sorry, the database took... Okay, there's only been 2 done. They're both sold out, and it's been a while. So I'm going to go ahead and give this an A because it hasn't been done in a while. If this was 400, I'd probably give this a B. This is a very good release right here, just simply due to the fact that one's not been done in a long time. And I have to think one of those may have been without winglets in 1-200 previously. So here's the first one, by the way, if you'd like to see it. And then the second one is right here. So yeah, it's been a long time. Those are older pictures. So therefore, I think this is a really justifiable A. That's a very good release, and I'm very pleased with that in 1-400. The Sun Country 737-800 Tide Pod's also another fantastic release. This has never been done in 1-200, and it's a popular US aircraft. Therefore, it's another A. This is a really solid release right here. Absolutely love the livery of the Tide Pod. It looks really good. Now, I did see this rig in Austin, although I did already get the 400, and I think that's satisfactory. Although I would like to get a Sun Country like this. Who knows? Maybe they'll get a company store or something soon. But another very good release, and a bunch of US releases starts out here. Here's kind of your Asia release, though, for 200. So let's see what the next aircraft is. That's going to be a C5M Super Galaxy from Dover Air Force Base 690024. Another very good release. I don't know how many C5s have really been done in just in general, you know, in the 1-200 line. So let me go ahead and reference that if you guys don't mind. Let me see if I can find it. This would be a Lockheed C5 Galaxy. There has been... Come on. This is the first one? What? Is this seriously the first one? I have a hard time believing that this is the first C5 in 1-200, although it might be. So if it is, I'm giving it an A because I think that, you know, we don't have one in 1-200. So I mean, I thought maybe I looked at tell wrong, could be something there, but that's still a very solid release nevertheless, and I think it's a very good one. So that is very, very good. That's really solid. And then we have a Cessna, it looks like. So let's take a look at the Cessna. It's going to be a Cirrus SR-22. Whoa. November 2525 Victor. How about this? Obviously, as you guys know, I've been flying the Cirrus lately, but that's still super cool. And just take a look. It's an SR-22. What is it? I can't see what kind of. It's just a GTS variant. That's a super cool aircraft. I definitely would like to get that as well in the future. That's really cool. I think that is a really solid release right there. I thought it was for sure going to be a Cessna. That is an A-tier release. The Cirrus in popularity is really increasing in the United States. That's a really good mold. I think it's brand new. So that's really exciting. That is a very solid A-tier release, and that's very good. And oh nope, we're not done, excuse me. Now we have a 172 Gemini Ace, and that's going to be F-18 Super Hornet Blue Angels. This has been fire, man. This has been a heck of a release, and this is number 2. Wow, that is another A-tier release. we got Cirruses. I see they were talking about diversity in terms of regions and aircraft. I mean, this is stoked, man. This is unbelievable. That is an awesome release. That is A+. These are really good, and what a way to finish this release. I see what they meant by diverse. This is one heck of a release right here. This is outstanding, man. This is really good. So for your 1 to 400s, this is a very good compromise between getting popular variety throughout the whole world, but also in the United States. I don't think you could have done better outside of maybe flipping one of the US planes for another region. Although again, like I said, though, there's something for everybody with the Delta World Champion Atlanta Braves, Delta or JetBlue A220 100%, the Republic 175, and the Southwest along with the Trump 757. You also have the ITA 330-200, the Flare Max, the Air New Zealand Neo, and the Azul Neo. This is a very good release. I give this an A-. This is very good. Like I said, you could have added maybe just one more plane in there, but I mean, for standards of Gemini, this is outstanding. For me, I'm leaning towards the Flare Max, the ITA 332, JetBlue, Republic, possibly the Southwest, and the Trump. So this is going to be a very big massive unboxing coming out of this, and we're not done yet. For the Max, I'm also leaning towards getting the B1. I would really like to. This and the Cirrus and the Blue Angel I may come back for later, although I would really like to get this fairly soon. So that's to be determined, and we'll talk about that more in the future. For the 1-200, it's a very US heavy and fairly small release, but considering what we got with the 172s, I think this is fairly reasonable. I'm going to give the 1 to 200 set by itself. I think it's a very solid B-, simply due to the fact that we don't have enough variety here, although it's still very good, and I understand why they did it this way. I'm definitely getting that American 787, which is going to be awesome, and the C5 is a really nice highlight along with the Delta 757-300. Yeah, just a little bit more variety would have been nice here, but this is still really good, and there's been some very good 1-200 months lately, so all understandable and broad, so very good there. The Cirrus is a great release. I think that's really good for student pilots like myself and many others as well. The livery looks nice on it, and they're just getting started with that mold, so I think that's really nice. And the Blue Angel's A-tier release, I can't remember the last time GeminiJets even came close to touching a plane like this, so it's really cool to see them doing this, and I think that this is literally the definition of most diverse set yet, and I'm very pleased with this. So this is a absolutely outstanding release. Feel free to let me know in the comments which ones you guys are leaning towards. This is a very, very good release, and I think that they did a very good job here in developing this. So what a day of releases, guys. It's been a little quiet lately, but April turned into a heck of a month. So again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Looking very forward to all those coming in. I expect many massive unboxings ahead as well. I may try to start posting even maybe 2 a month, depending how many models I continue to get, but this will definitely be pretty much a massive unboxing by itself. I would like to buy all of these at once, although I'm not sure. There's the Cirrus, the B1, and the Blue Angel, and the American 789, along with all the 400 stuff. So yeah, it's going to definitely be tough, and I may try to pick up some of the stuff at Airliners too. That's another option, as that is getting super close, and we got some big news on it today. I am going to be busy this weekend though, so stay tuned on my Instagram story, or I would make a video on that pronto, but expect a video sometime in the coming weeks about Airliners International for more details. We got some very, very, very quality news that I'm very excited to talk about, and we have various other great videos ahead. Again, like I said in the NG video, I am super sorry that's been a little hit or miss lately, but trust me, we are moving in the right direction and expect much more. I may just go ahead and upload these both tonight if I get a chance. So anyways, though, that will do for today's video, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. What a set from GeminiJets, one of their better ones in a long time. They've had some really good sets, but that JetBlue really makes it for me, as I've been requesting that for a long time. Along with the rest of them, I think this is a very solid release. I'm looking very forward to all these aircraft coming in, and I hope you guys are excited to see them as well. But with all that being said, that'll do for today's video, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe, trust the process, do what you love, and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon, as Redriveraviation is signing off.